It's your handy, right? We've got a pretty quiet setup this morning. You've got rain and snow, a wave of low pressure sparking a miserable November mess up across the Great Lakes, Michigan, Northeast Ohio, the usual suspects, Erie, PA. But it's part of a system that is mainly impacting them. You drop south, you notice there isn't anything down to our southwest. What's happening is that low is cutting through and it's heading towards Philly, New York later on today, and it's dragging a cold front through here. It'll drop through and just kind of put the chill in for the next couple of days. But the good news, high pressure is ridging in, which means there isn't anything active heading our way. The bad news is this high builds in just after that cold front, and we are set for a cold morning tomorrow morning. And then eventually we'll recover later this week. We've been spending time talking about Cynthiana this week and some great drone video from up in Harrison County. It's 43 degrees via the Kentucky Mesonet site up in Harrison County. And you've also got a west-northwest wind, a little breezy, 11 miles per hour sustained. And it is going to be the fact that we've got this wind and this northwest wind specifically that is really going to help drive that temperature down as that front comes through this morning and is doing so, and even had gusts around 20 miles per hour. So we're in the 40s. We'll briefly dip into the 30s, only make it back into the 40s later on today, and then you get to the overnight low. Check it out. 23 degrees in Lexington. It's nowhere near records, which are down in the low teens, but it's still pretty cold stuff, and our average low is 37 this time of the year. The coldest we've been so far this fall in Lexington, 24 degrees. We hit that November 2nd. To go lower than that, we'd have to go all the way back to February, where we got down into the upper teens for a morning low. So yeah, it's some cold stuff, and it's one morning. We'll recover later this week. Forecast highs today, mid to upper 40s. Tomorrow, upper 40s to low 50s as you head south. And then by Thursday, boom, we're back in the 60s. So this is a quick hit. And we'll get into the 60s and probably stay there going into the weekend. A quick update on Hurricane Iota. It made landfall as a Category 4. It weakened slightly from that Cat 5 max. But around 10:45 last night, you can see the eye coming ashore, northeastern Honduran coastline there, and now moving inland ever so slowly and becoming a major torrential rain threat. What's fascinating about this, and not in a good way, is where it made landfall. And as of early this morning, winds are still at 105 miles per hour. Right there's the coastline. I mean, this thing is well inland. But if you look, the comparison to the Eta track and then the Iota track, there are the two landfalls along the Honduran coastline within 2 weeks of each other and only about 15 miles apart. So that coastline is just absolutely devastated. And then, of course, the torrential rain inland is catastrophic as well. Here in Lexington and the Commonwealth, it is a completely different story. It is absolutely quiet, tranquil, just chilly. We're going to be in the mid to upper 40s for highs today, 20s tonight, so a very cold morning. Hopefully by now you've disconnected the hoses from the house, done all that stuff, because, yeah, it's only one morning and we'll end up rebounding and stay fairly mild. We'll warm up into the weekend, but eventually we'll have another cold snap brewing. But for right now, the good news is the warm-up does coincide with the upcoming weekend. We could have some beautiful days to round out the work week and head into that weekend.